What's up, guys? It's Alexia back again with another video. So I'm going to be doing anxiety tips part 2. The reason there's a part 2 even is because I realized, firstly, the tips that I gave in the first video, they are tips that you can find online. Does that make sense? And then, I had like 1 or 2 that were my own, but they weren't really new, if that makes sense. Like, if you have mental health and you've Googled it, you would know what I was talking about. Anyway, these anxiety tips are coming from a different perspective. So the perspective is more about dealing with your anxiety instead of, I feel like those words kind of like get rid of like the initial or like the most feeling of anxiety, whereas these are more about like dealing with anxiety or mental health in your day-to-day life. So okay, so tip number 1. Tip number 1 is setting boundaries. Setting boundaries is your best friend, okay? Listen to me. Setting boundaries is your best friend. Let me tell you why. Because people, they don't know how to act. No, they don't. So you need to teach them. So like, regardless whether you had mental health or not, they have no respect. Not all of them, but most of them, they have no respect. So you need to teach them. So when it comes to anxiety, sometimes I don't want to answer the phone. It could be because it gives me anxiety, which I know it makes no sense. It makes no sense to me either, but that's just the way the cookie crumbles, okay? It could be because it gives me anxiety, or it could be because maybe like the person that's calling me, I know they're gonna talk shit or something like that. It could be because, it could also be because maybe I have too much anxiety or depression, or like my mental health is just not okay, which means I'm not gonna answer the phone because I don't want any more added things. And this does it, you don't have to be close to me for me to answer the phone to you. Like, it could be my mom, it could be my partner, it could be my friends. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't have, I don't see face when I see a phone call if I'm having anxiety, if that makes sense. So setting boundaries. So I'm not saying that you should be declaring rules for everyone, but I think the people closest to you that are around you, like your support team, if you have a support system, I think they should definitely have these boundaries. So for example, like my close friends and my family know this doesn't include my mom, because if I don't answer my mom's messages or calls, that's a different story. So apart from my mom, but she gets it. If I tell her, look, I don't want to talk right now, she respects it and she hangs up, so that's fine. But so basically, I just tell them, if you call me and I don't answer, I will get back to you. If I don't want to talk on the phone because I'm having anxiety or whatever, I'll text them straight away. And if I don't, I'm not ignoring you. Like, that's my point. Like, I'm not ignoring you. I'm not someone that's gonna ignore someone unless it's because you're not respecting my boundaries, if that makes sense. Because I have people, you know who you are. I love you, but you know who you are. That like, they will ring out the phone, no answer, call back again. Ring out the phone, no answer, call again. And even if I tell them, like, if I reply by text or if I let them know like whatever's going on, they'll still like ask for more. I don't know what else to give you, my friends. Like, no. So I've just learned, I don't know if this is another tip, but this is just like life knowledge. If people don't respect your boundaries, it's not your job to make them understand, if that makes sense. Like, for me, if someone doesn't respect my boundaries, I'm just gonna ignore you. Like, that's just how it is, because regardless of whether you respect me or not, I'm gonna keep doing me, and that's the way that I would do me. So yeah, because I don't know if this is something that people with like depression only have, but like I'm the type of person that I will feel bad regardless, and I've learned to, you don't have to feel bad all the time. So yeah. Anyway, tip number 2 is about patience, stability. It's about being okay with not being okay. So I guess it's like making your own stability. And the reason I say this is because when my mental health spiraled and I was really like, you know, bad, yeah, I would sit down, because I used to like smoke outside. I would sit outside and I would look at people walking, and I would think they have no idea how lucky they are, because they can walk outside, they can be without having so many obstacles or so many things to think about before doing that or being, if that makes any sense. Like for me, when it was really bad for me, everything was a process, everything. And I would literally sit there and be like, oh my God, like I don't know what it's like to just leave my house, like just get ready, leave my house, and that's it, and not think about what I'm doing. Anyway, and another thing that I used to think about was, well, one thing I dreamed about for many years was stability. Okay, so stability is not what we think it is. Stability is not having constant happiness. Stability is not constant good. So I know you've heard this before. The reason you're hearing it again is because you haven't deeped it, okay? You can't have good without the bad. It's through the bad that you get the good. So therefore, if you always just had good, there would be no growth. Does that make sense? So look, if you don't want to grow, then that's fine. You want to chase constant happiness, do that. But if you want to grow and be like your full potential, then you're gonna have to grow. So changing my perception of what stability was took off so much pressure that I used to put on myself. Because now, if I'm having a bad day, or if I feel, because you know, like the more in tune you are with yourself, the more you can kind of see when things are gonna happen, or you know, etc. So now if I feel like I'm okay, cool, I need to destimulate, or I need some time by myself, or I need some space, or whatever it is, I don't have the added, again, we're really gonna go through this again, like we're really gonna feel this again, we're really gonna have like the 10th time out today, or this week, or this month. Like there was so much condemnation that I used to put on myself because I wasn't normal. And it was like anything I had to do to help myself would be a chore, because it's like, why do I have to do this? Does that make sense? Now it's not like that, because now I understand myself and I give myself love. And it's like, if I do feel like I need that time, I need that time. Because let me tell you, if I don't give myself that time, it's bad for you and me, honey. It's not just bad for me, it's bad for you and me. So I think to just like summarize, the second tip is to give yourself patience and to be okay when you're not okay. Just take it as, you know, when you have a cold, or you know, like, I don't know, maybe you've been heartbroken, yeah, and you just take a day to like comfort yourself. Just do that, okay? Just do that. Don't, if you're going through shit, don't add the shit onto the shit. Like, add love onto the shit. So if you're feeling horrible, be the friend that you would want to have in that time. Does that make sense? Be that friend to yourself. Anyway, I've been rambling. Tip number 3. Let me do that again. Tip number 3. I was trying to, you know what, I was trying to do French, like to be bougie, you know, and then I was thinking like, what's 3, and then I had to do it under 3. I don't know why I told you guys that, but anyway. Okay, so tip number 3, I know maths. Okay, tip number 3 is a technique that I got from a documentary called Emotions. This is a good documentary to understand the way your emotions work and the way like your brain works with emotions. I watched it on Gaia.com, but I don't know if you, like, I'm sure maybe you can find it on YouTube or something, but that's where I got it from. I'm not going to say it's the same technique, because I always take information and make it my own. So yeah, okay, cool. So this is a technique that you can use. You don't have to wait till mid panic attack or pre panic attack. You don't have to wait for it to be like that, but you can use it if you feel like you're spiraling. You can use it then. But what I'm trying to say is you don't have to wait till then to use it. Like if you feel like you're just not having your best day, you can use it then as well. So basically the technique is bringing yourself to the present moment. That's what it does. Because what happens is when you have anxiety, your brain spirals into so many thoughts. There's so many things. There's literally so much information in your head, and you will be time traveling in your head. You know, like if you have anxiety, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like you'll be time traveling, past, present, future, and it's like, no, bring yourself back to the present. That's what this technique does. It reminds you that you are not there. You are not your thoughts. You're not there. Whatever. Did you know your brain? I always say your brain. Your body doesn't know the difference between a thought and an experience. So deep it's mad. So everything, like for the people that have anxiety, everything that you're thinking in your head, your body thinks that it's going through it. That's why, like, I always tell people, like, yeah, my anxiety is mental, but it feels very physical. So you know what I mean, yeah? So it's like, that's why your body feels so physical, because your body thinks it's actually going through those experiences. So what this technique does is it acknowledges, because it's important to not ignore the anxiety. Don't ignore your mental health. Acknowledge it, accept it, and then move on. Does that make sense? So that's what this technique is basically about. So I'm gonna tell you the technique how I saw it, and then I'll show you the technique how I do it. So the technique how they showed it in the documentary is basically you put your hand on your heart, and you'll ask yourself, no, you don't ask yourself, you just say, I am afraid of, and then your body will naturally respond. This actually does work. Your body actually does tell you the answers. Like, you guys should try it. I am afraid of, and then whatever you're thinking, come out, whatever. As soon as you said it, then you think, you ask yourself out loud, where am I? Where are you? You respond. Make sure when you're doing this that you're responding out loud. The reason that I'm saying out loud and not just in your head is because what's the difference between a thought and then something you say? A lot of people think you are your thoughts, but you're not your thoughts. To be honest, 99% of our thoughts are not our own. So we choose the thoughts that we want to keep and the ones that we don't. And the only difference between is to say it. You manifest things through words. So it's important that you say it out loud. So you ask yourself, where am I? Right now, I'm in my living room. So I would say, I'm in my living room. What is right in front of me? I look at what's right in front of me, the phone. Does that make sense? And then you do it again. What am I afraid of? You say it, and then you do it. And you just do it. It's just like a continuous process, whatever, till you calm down. Now, the way that I do this is I don't do the what am I afraid of, because I just don't do it. There's no reason. Like, I don't want you guys to think that I'm saying it's bad. I'm not. I don't do it. I personally am more of I see myself as another while still seeing myself as myself. So I would ask myself, like, what's up? Like, what's got you like this? But regardless, if I'm spiraling, I don't have time for questions, if that makes sense. So for me, what I do is I just do the whole where am I? Where am I? What can I see in front of me? And how I added it to be my own is I use all senses. I'm very much of a sense person, so like I'm, smells, everything, like it's good for me. So when I'm like that, I experience anxiety with that same thing, with smells and everything. So how to bring myself down, like back to stability, I need to do it with that. So I need to distract my mind as much as possible and bring myself to the present moment as much as possible. And to do that, I use, smells, touch, anything. What can I hear? What can I see? To remind yourself, to remind your body that you are not going through what you're thinking in your head. You have to make your body feel safe, make your body feel grounded, make your body feel like we are here, we are not over there. Okay, so anyway, the last tip that I'm gonna give you is for all the pushovers out there. I feel you, okay? I feel you. I'm a bit of a pushover too. If someone wanted to, they could convince me to do something. Even if I don't want to do, like, there have been many times where I feel like, you know what, today I'm just gonna chill, I'm gonna do some like inner work. I just wanna, like, even if it's not inner work, like maybe you're not gonna be productive at all. Why am I saying it like as an example? I didn't want to do anything outside basically. And then what happens? You know, your friend calls you and it's like, girl, like, we going out. And it's like, you know, I love to do that whole thing. So yeah, I do want to go. Does that make sense? But I initially didn't, and I knew, like, don't go, but I went. So I get what it's like to not want to say no for whatever reason you have. Don't judge. So the last tip is to stop being a pushover. Stop doing things that you don't want to do. Because I know, like, I can only talk about my experience. In my experience, I find it hard to say no. The main reason being that I don't like to hurt people, and I don't like to make people feel less than happy. So, like, it's a constant thing that I work on constantly, because I know that that's not right. I'm not out here to make everyone happy. I'm here to live my life. But, you know, you have to try. So the last tip is basically that. Stop, okay? Stop caring about everyone else and just give yourself some of that love that you give everyone else. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, when you're having a breakdown, who is there? Because it's not them, it's you. It's you and your mind, okay? I have this so clear. No one is there but me and my mind. So with that same respect, you don't want to go out that day, don't say it in a rude way. I'm not saying have an attitude and be rude. No, let them know, like, I don't want to go out. You don't even have to give a reason. You don't have to explain yourself. You don't want to go out, you don't want to go out. That's it. If they're your real friends, they'll get it. And if they're your real friends, then they'll know what is going on and they'll just leave it. And if they don't, let me tell you, my friend, it's not your place to make someone understand. It's not your place to make anyone get you, understand you, respect you. It's not your job. Let go of those, like, pressures and just let it be. Okay, cool. So, oh my god, I can't believe I done that whole video without, like, going off. Okay, no, I did go off a bit and I'm going off now, so let me just shut up. Anyway, thanks for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please like it and share it to all your friends and your family so we can get the word out there and whatever. And as always, from my perspective to yours. Peace.